How do you turn a boring old mountainside into a beautiful town with the Minecolonies mod? Let's find out. Hello everybody, it's Lady Shadena, and thank you for coming back to join me on another one of my very cool Minecolonies inspirations. Today we're going to be doing a second day of work on our Spawn Athens Pompeii colony, and then after that I think we'll move on. But I wanted to start by looking at this really cool waterfall thing that I built on one of our stairs going down the hill, because I talk about that a lot of doing waterfalls and things to make things look nice. And as you can see, it's not a terribly complicated thing to do. These are the Domum Ornamentum panels, just different varieties of them, and I just have the top ones are waterlogged, so I've put some water in there, and that creates a really nice kind of waterfall effect. Now down here, as you can see, I've got some more panels creating sort of a fence kind of idea, and that's because citizens can be a little silly. They will do things like put themselves into the water, splash down to the bottom, and promptly drown. So everything that you build, you of course need to think about how to keep your citizens safe from it. And with that, talking about the volcano itself. So of course I want to make sure that I keep my citizens out of this and keep them safe. And as you can see, I created some walls that go up the mountain to keep everybody out. And by using the same material, the basalts and the black stones, it actually blends in really, really nicely. So when you move a little bit away from it, it's really hard to tell that there's a wall there at all. Further down, I did just a mossy stone wall, so it doesn't blend in as well, but I may change that later. But that's something you really need to think about. If you're in a place that isn't the safest, you of course need to keep your people safe. So that's the sort of thing that I do to kind of blend in the terrain and make things look really nice. And other things, just like simply doing stuff like putting vines on the walls, really makes them blend in quite nicely, and even putting some vines on buildings. Just things like that to think about that can just really temporarily make things look really lovely, just like that. So we're going to continue building down into our various tiers and things like that. The first couple of buildings we're going to put in are ones that you actually do need close on to the beginning of creating your colony. I'm going to put in a forester or a lumberjack, and as you can see, I've kind of thought about where various things are going to go before we started. So let's start with this forester's hut. Again, we're always previewing at level 5. We're going to be actually putting them in, but when you're doing your colony normally, you always do want to preview that at level 5, so that you know what you're getting. So this one does have where it's kind of designed to go down a hill a little bit, it looks like. Some of these buildings are, which is really, really kind of neat. So I'm going to actually move this out a little bit, I think. Like, where did that gravel go? Because that's going to be our ground level right there. So I think I'm going to bump it in right here, and I'm not going to use that word 19 times again in this episode. I'm going to be better. So by doing that, I'm going to end up bringing the path around this way and then further down, but I think just allowing them to be close in to where this forest is, and then we'll put in the various trees that we need for the forester to work on. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that right there. And as always, once you put things in, you are going to terraform a little bit around it, just to blend everything in a little bit. And again, I'll work that that back wall there, and maybe put some sort of decorative something right here to blend it in quite nicely. But even just doing that, I think it isn't, you know, it's not standing out too much from the landscape. You just need to do a little bit of work to sort of clean it up as you go. So that's that forester right away. And another thing that you're going to generally want fairly early on is the mine. Now, because we are working on the top of this mountain, I don't necessarily want to put the mine up here, because later on when it's digging down and noding out, it could interfere with buildings that I have you know, on the same level or above it. So you always kind of want to have the mine at the beginning, at sort of where the lowest areas of your colony are going to be, because then you have a less chance of it interfering with your colony things. So in this particular case, I'm going to actually bring it right down here. So the miner is going to have a little bit of a trek to work for a while until you know, maybe we'll put some residences down in this area. But I think putting the mine down in this area will it's still within the colony, and you know, but having it down here means that there's a lot less chance of interfering with anything that you put up there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to just get rid of that, and the mine itself will again be in the fundamentals, pulling that up to the level 5, and this one, I think it has this really great setup here where it can be looking out over onto the stuff and things. And if we do that, I'm going to just take it down one more. It's going to sort of fill this little area here, and again we'll be bringing that road down, or the path down, and we'll end up creating a path that kind of goes further this way to blend it into the colony itself. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to put that in right there, and again we'll just we'll end up just going in and we'll clean this up a bit and maybe blend this into the landscape a bit further, but even doing that, like I said, it blends in quite nicely and makes sure that your mine doesn't interfere with other parts of your colony, and it will give you kind of the start of that sort of layer of the colony once you get down to that level. And then over here, let's actually move over to right here. So we've got this lovely space right here, and a building that, again, you are going to want fairly early on is the restaurant, because if you have one, you don't have to manually feed your citizens yourself. So the restaurant is going to be right there. There are 2 restaurants in this style, and you always do kind of want to take a look at all the options that you have to see which one you like. This particular one, I like that sort of open terrace that the first one has, so I think I'm going to go with that. And we're gonna stick it into this spot right here, and I'm going to take it down to the same level as the university there. And one problem that I always have is I tend to want to squish everything right together so that I have kind of the smallest footprint possible on colonies, and it's something that I'm working on with myself to try and get better, to give my colonies a bit more space, and that's why I'm working on doing things like these you know, these open terraced ones, because it kind of forces you to give the buildings a bit more space. So what I'm thinking is if I space it out kind of like this, I'll be able to put a little path in between here and bring another road around here, because it's the restaurant. You want people to be able to kind of access it from every side. And I'm going to bring it back. Now the question is, do I want to line it up at the back there and have that open space here? Let's think about this. And we're also thinking about having our view of the town hall back there. If we have it a bit more forward, we'll have an open space over there. And this is why doing it to level 5 is so important, so that you have a really good understanding of what your space is. And then maybe what we'll do is we'll flatten, because this will be coming down a couple of levels, and we'll have some bushes and things there. Yeah, I think we'll do it like that, lining it up to more of the front area here. So let's go ahead and we'll put that in there. And as you can see, that chunked itself right into the hill there. So we are going to have to go and clean this up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And there we go. So we just opened it up a little bit so you can get a really good idea of what that is. I'll still finish cleaning that up a bit more, and then we'll add in some plants and a path and things like that, and make that look really, really nice. But as you can see, that really kind of fills up that level there and gives us the restaurant that we need to feed our people. Now you might be wondering, what was this magical wand thing that I was using here? This is actually the scan tool, something that we use that comes with the Structurize mod. That is a required mod with Minecolonies, and it's something that we builders use all the time when creating our various masterpieces. So it just lets me select an area and remove everything. You can actually have your builder do that. You can use that same tool, you can select those areas, and when you're in regular survival mode, you can actually assign a builder to just like clear the area out by creating a kind of a schematic that goes with that. Maybe one day I will create a video about how to do that, but I think there are some out there from some of the other builders. Anyway, moving off topic. So there's that, and I'm pretty happy with that. I think will be really good. So moving down to this next layer here, another thing that we definitely need is a warehouse. And the warehouse itself, I think we're going to put in this space here. Start getting this tree out of there. So I'm thinking over in this general area. I know I put a sign down somewhere. There we go. That says a warehouse. Do we put the warehouse here? Perhaps we shall. So the warehouse is in craftsmanship and storage and the warehouse. And again, there's a couple of really awesome buildings in this one. This is so it's meant to go on the ocean or a lake or something like that, or a river. It's absolutely gorgeous, but unfortunately our infrastructure that we're working with isn't going to make that one work for us. So they also have a rural warehouse, which I think is absolutely lovely, but is that what we want to do here? Let's think about this. It's got a flat side and a not flat side, but I think we might go with the regular warehouse because it has this really cool and like all the pillars and stuff like that. And I think coming down on a level down here, it will like mesh really nicely and like kind of bring the colony together by putting this down here. And the way that it's designed, we can have this back towards the hill there. So let's do this. Move it over kind of like that. We'll drop that down by 1 or 2 so we have that really great view looking up. And I think, and I've started to bring this sort of stairs and pathway down, and we'll put probably, I don't know quite what yet, but there might be some decorative things or something that we can put in here. Again, trying to train myself to not squish things up as much as I usually do. but this will create this really great extra layer. Now, might even bring that up. No, I think we'll keep it like that. And then this allows us to have that road down on this side again, sort of, because while I don't necessarily think that a design like this would benefit from like the straight lines and stuff all over the place, sometimes having sort of a main thoroughfare in a couple of places isn't a terrible idea. So let's do that. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's commit to it. All right, so there we go. We have added that warehouse, and again doing that little bit of cleanup. And you know, as I said in the previous episode, when you're actually building things up from level 1 up to the level 5, as your builder creates the building itself, you'll be going in and you know, cleaning up and doing the terraforming and things in between your actual builds. So you'll be cleaning all this up like that. Okay, so when you've got a warehouse, you need couriers, and there definitely are more designs coming in that have more like integrated couriers that are actually part of the warehouses. I don't think that this is one of those designs, but let's take a look and see if that's the case. So what we would be looking for in this case is the Courier hut blocks that would be put down in various places. So let's look upstairs. If it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be upstairs, I think. And it looks like it's all just storage space. We've got a nice ender chest that probably came in at level 5. No, but it's such a gorgeous building. This whole style is just absolutely lovely, and I am a big fan of it for sure. Okay, so there are no integrated courier huts that I can see in this particular building. So we are going to have some couriers. So they have a couple of different options for the couriers here, as you can see. I believe the Harbor and the Harbor Integrate is the courier that goes into it, or they have different ones. But they have got the basic courier here, which is a full building, but it's tall and skinny, and as you can see, it's designed to actually like where you can like stick a whole bunch of them in a row, and I think that would look really nice. But they do have this courier offices, which let's move this over so we can take a look at it. So it's like a block building, and it's got a bunch of offices that come in it. I believe it's 5 in this one. And it's designed to be able to go up against the flat wall of another building, and I'm sure there are other things that can fit onto there and stuff like that, maybe guard towers or something like that. I haven't actually tried it, but I think just having this and moving it into this area here, and by having it back a bit, we'll be able to have like maybe a tree or a decoration or something like that. Maybe move it over a little bit, because we don't want to block that beautiful like this that we put here, all our waterfalls and stuff like that. But if we put like again like some some trees and some decor, maybe statue or something like that, bring that around here. It still leaves us some space to do that, and it still has that layered effect that we're looking for. So I think we're probably going to go with that. Maybe we'll bring it down by 1. That one is the ground level, which I believe matches up with this one. We can do like that. It actually brings it 1 higher, but that's fine. We can just put some stairs or something. So I think that level is what I like, and I think over there is what I like. Do I want it that far back? Do I sometimes even like 1 or 2 blocks difference can make a difference? No, you know what? I like it there. I like it there. And I can Do I? Right there. Right there. I'm going to commit. Sometimes you just have to commit and go with it and then work around it. So as you can see, sometimes I will put roads and stairs and infrastructure in ahead of time, and sometimes I will put the building in and then work around it. It just depends on how far I want to go with my pre-planning. Like in this case, I just kind of ran around and got an idea of where I wanted to put things and plopped some signs down for where I thought would be good, and that's generally how I work. I get a few things in and then I'll work one building off the next for that. So yeah, so we're gonna run this this path around kind of this way. We'll put in some decoration and we'll clean up this back area here a bit. I'll probably do more of an incline kind of thing here, or I might step it up. I haven't decided yet, and then have that road coming down here. So, but that again, we're getting this really amazing set of levels in this thing going on here, which I think is great. So what did I think about over here? I thought the hospital would look good in this space. So, because that's, again, fairly early on, you definitely want to get that hospital in, because then you will have your people go to the hospital to get cured instead of standing around waiting for you to do it. So the hospital right here, there's one option for it, and it has this really great kind of thing. This little courtyard kind of thing. Now what I believe is that I kind of like the courtyard opening to be on the other side. And one thing that you can do when you are placing your buildings is, this is called the mirror. So mirroring it, so it just flips it over entirely. And some buildings are not a good idea to mirror. It's generally frowned upon to mirror things like barracks or any building that has a child building in it. So barracks have those integrated barracks towers. So anything that has another building integrated into it, it's really not a good idea to mirror it. But if it doesn't, then you can absolutely do that. And that way you can flip things around and have different sides facing different ways and that sort of thing. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to kind of keep that. I don't want to completely line up with that other building this way, just because we're getting almost too symmetrical, too lined up over here, and I kind of want to move things around so it's more with the terrain than with the other buildings. And I think by doing this, you've got kind of a nice open, like a closed open kind of feeling, like that. Yeah. And again, we've got a couple of buildings that are all on the same level. I don't see any problem with dropping this down by a couple of levels. Again, we've got this space to be able to do the stairs going down, and we'll be bringing things down here anyway. Here we're going to end up with kind of a flat flat wall happening, and I'm not opposed to that. I don't think there's any problem with having that. I might even take it back further just to carve out that hole or that wall. And that is my dishwasher telling me that it is ready to be emptied. So I will be doing that directly after doing the video. But yeah, I think that will be really good. Again, it gives us that terraced feel, and now we're terracing kind of down this direction. So let's commit to that. So now we have a hospital, and again, we'll be kind of filling this in a bit and putting in those stairs here, and just like this, oops, like that, and probably going to be there, right, like this is our ground level, which is right there. So we're going to have to bring around this path like this, and you don't necessarily need to need to keep it a flat path, you can angle things as well, because we are working with the terrain. And I realize that we have been cutting out large sections and flattening sections out, but sometimes you do that, sometimes you work with the terrain, and overall you end up with a wonderful wonderful colony. So that's just to give you an idea of what this bit will be like here, and open that up like so. And sometimes you can leave those bushes in, but I quite often find that I want to go in and make them look in a specific way, and they've got these trees, these built trees specifically for this style, and I think putting those in all over the place is going to look really good. So there we go. So that's what that is going to do. And just like that. And again, keeping this one sort of layer of the lawn around, just to give that a little bit of space. Because again, I'm working on making myself not put everything so close together, and giving things the space that it needs. So there's that. So what I did over here with the waterfalls, I may or may not do the same thing over here. But another thing that you really need to think about the whole time that you are building is your people are going to want to be near a guard tower. And initially, because you're not putting your guard towers in at level 5, you're going to need them to be starting at 1 and working their way up anyway. So you are going to actually have more guard towers interspersed to put your borders out and to make your people happy. So sometimes when you have a space like this, now I know that this building doesn't have a basement because I went inside and I double checked, and I took a look at the border of the building when I was doing my build tool. So I know that there is nothing in this space here. I also know that there's other styles that have very small guard towers or guard stations that could go in there. So just because I'm doing an entirely what I would call overworld style doesn't mean I can't combine it with something underground. You know me, I'm the Cavern Queen. I like to build things underground. So the last thing we're going to do is, hello guys, what's up? What's up? Oh, I see it's raining. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cheat a little bit, and I'm going to clear that weather up. And that's going to take all of these guys out. Sorry, my bad. Okay, so what we're going to do is I thought it would be really cool to put, actually the cavern has the alternate guard tower, which is actually what I call a guard station. It's this nice little building like this. It's not super big, but it would fit underneath that into the thing here. And if I put it one back, and I know where, and I'll open this up, and then I'll make this a really nice kind of opening into it. But as you can see, it's not infringing on what's going on up here. And sometimes if you're not sure where the bottom of that is, it's not a terrible idea to open it up. So if I do that, I can see the bottom line of this box is right here, which is this one. So as long as, so the bottom line is actually right there of that building. So as long as I don't go above it with this building, I am good. So I've actually got my my thing right in the right spot. And what you would do before you, of course, place this is you're going to open it up, and you always want to, anytime you're putting something into the ground or into a mountain or into anything like that, you need to make sure that this is opened up so you can actually see where the hut block is going to go, because otherwise it will place it and then it'll be stuck in the mountain somewhere and you won't know where it is. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it right there, but I'm going to put it one further in. So I'm actually going to open that up, and I'm going to put it one further in. So I'm going to still have all of this dirt going on here, and so what I'm going to do is either a bit of a waterfall around it here, which I think would look really nice because I'm going to have the space now because I put it one further in, or I might just put on some vines or something like that just to kind of cover that. So I'm going to go ahead and no, actually, did I do level 5? Did I do level 5 on this one? Let me take a look. What have I got going on here? No, I did not actually put it at level 5 yet. So again, I'm going to go level 5. There we go. And I'm going to construct that. And so I'm going to end up with this this thing going on here, where I've got these really great opening. And what I'll probably do is I'll do something to like frame it up, or you know, I haven't really thought overly much about how I'm gonna make it all blend in, but I will. And I could even put some of those panels and stuff to close it in a little bit more, but check that out. So you can actually put things under things and make the whole thing work. And now we've got a 5-block radius around this this hut, where all of these are now within the radius of a guard tower, because your people will complain if their home or their work are not near enough to a guard tower. So there we go. I think this colony is really coming along, and you can really see now where my vision is working with the terrorist idea. And what I'm thinking is that I'm going to have the animals, all the herders and stuff will be down here, and the farmer is going to be here. The farms actually have a really neat set of fields, and one of them is a stepped terraced field, so I'll be using that here. But we'll go on to some other ideas for, I think, the next episode, and eventually we will come back and see what I do with this one. So we're going to finish up today's episode in our beautiful auditorium, and at night, this beautiful night. I love the moon. Hello, moon. And yeah, so that'll do it. So I hope this again has given you some ideas of how you can lay out your colony, and how you design things, and how you decide what's going to go where, and use the terrain to your advantage to come up with something very cool. And with that, I hope that you are having an absolutely fantastic day, and that we see you again very soon. Bye-bye!